Time for another episode of The Mysteries of YouTube Partnership. And Brian still cannot make an intro out of my intros. These are supposed to be different every time anyway. Fuck you, Dolphine. First thing I want to talk about that I've learned since becoming a partner is some people, they just want to know how you became a partner because they're either envious or they're in shock that you became a partner. They can't understand how this channel that they consider to have not enough subscribers or views somehow became partner. Okay. And, even myself, I'm guilty of not wanting to tell people right away that I became a partner because there are some envious pricks out there who might actually, get angry. So, 2 days before I announced that I was a partner, I was switching out thumbnails, just trying out some of my partner stuff, and people were asking me, hey, how did you do that? There are some people who are eyeballing everyone's channels. So, if you really want to know and you don't want to wait for someone to answer the question, what I found is Social Blade actually, in all of the data that they're pulling from YouTube, they're also pulling what network you're a part of. So when you look at me, you'll see my name and then Broadband TV Network, all right? And when you see that actually means TGN. You have to actually know a little bit about the umbrella companies, because some of these networks are operating like Gibson has their top of the line Gibsons, and then they have Epiphone, and then they have their starter line that they donate to schools, the Gibson Baldwin guitars. So there's different tiers to some of these companies. And if you know what companies have what parent company, you can figure out what network someone got on. You see Broadband Network TV, you should read TGN. That's the network I'm on. And it's displayed correctly on my Social Blade, and I never give them that information. And for 2 days or so, I didn't want anyone to know that information until I just came out and said it. But also, other members of TGN, like Happy Cabby, look at his Social Blade, and it displays prominently right under his name. If you look at Onision, you'll see Machinima. There are some people who you might see have Maker Studios, but they're actually they're on the lower form of Maker Studios. They're on RPM, and RPM is taking people now at 20,000 views a month, which is 666 views a day. Which is a lot lower than some of the other requirements of other networks. So, if someone's not telling you, or they're not answering your question about how they became a partner, what network they became partner with, it's there. It's out there. The information is out there on Social Blade. Whether people want it to be there or not. Okay. Thing number 2 that I learned. The snake game. Apparently, a couple years ago, as an Easter egg for April Fool's Day, Google or YouTube, they released a snake game for YouTube, and whatever you remember about the commands for the snake game, there's tutorials all over the internet about this snake game on YouTube. You should know that if you push the space bar during the snake game, you can actually watch people's video while you're playing Snake over their video. Okay? And I imagine if somebody made a whole bunch of boring videos, say, you could make a statement about them by trying your hardest to play a snake game through their entire video without dying. And, make it a challenge, who can get through so and so's video by playing Snake all the way through it without dying. And if it's a particularly distracting video, then it might actually be a really good challenge. Next thing, I was exploring the number 50 user on the TGN network, the network that I'm on. I was exploring Social Blade stats for this, and I click on this guy's channel, and he's basically a gaming channel, and he had a clip of Sonic the Hedgehog, and it had something 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 dot gif, and then I click on the video, and the thing keeps repeating, right? So I wanted to find out, how did he do that, and the way that it works is through a glitch with the annotations and the pause button, and I told Godless Manitoban all about how to do it after I did it myself with the video Pwned Bitch, which immediately precedes this video on this channel. It's a very simple thing to do. If you want to learn, go to Godless Manitoban's channel. He made a tutorial that's better than any tutorial out there on how to do it, and you can have your own repeating video that acts like a GIF. And lastly, what I want to talk about is we've been doing it wrong here. As far as using the social network side or the site to its full potential, and networking into other social network sites, because a lot of us here on YouTube, myself included, have had all of our actions privated on YouTube. Like, if you don't private the actions that you do, every time you leave a comment on someone's video or you like someone's video, someone can see that in their feed if they're subscribed to you. But there's a setting in the YouTube settings where you can, unclick all of that and you don't share any of that in your feed. Now, I used to do this. I used to uncheck a whole bunch of things except for uploaded a video, because I was concerned that people were stalking the videos that I was commenting on in order to leave comments underneath them, and stalking the likes that I had on YouTube because they wanted to know who I was liking on their videos, because they wanted to keep me from straying too far out of a certain social circle and getting into another social circle that they didn't like. There's a certain peer pressure aspect to it. And my appeal here to all of you, just like my appeal about all of us using ad block if we're watching a lot of YouTube videos, in order to create more views amongst the community, my appeal here is that everyone quit caring about whether or not someone is stalking your comments and likes, and turn that stuff back on. Then connect your Twitter account and your Facebook account to your YouTube account so that everything you do gets shared. Some of you might want to create another Facebook account in order to, not have your family see all of the stuff that you're doing on YouTube. Some of you might want to create another Twitter account. But I will give you this as an example. Just yesterday, Exiled put up a video, and her video was about Peasy Myers' Free Thought blogs, and how she didn't like how there was a lady named Taslima Nasreen there from the feminist or radfem community who, I guess in her estimation, gets it wrong a lot. So, Exiled is condemning Peasy Myers for having Taslima Nasreen, and the things that she does on her blog, like taking from other not well liked by her blogs and posting things on her blog, on Free Thought blogs. Exiled makes the video, I watched the video and I simply clicked the like button. Not necessarily because I agreed with what she was saying. I really don't know much about radical feminism. But I saw the video. I liked that she had an opinion. I clicked the like button. It got shared in my feed. It also, from my feed, got shared on my Twitter. Right? From my Twitter, somebody saw that I liked her video, watched the video, and then they were angry at me for liking the video. And they're like, really? You know, PZ Myers is a bad person because, you know, of one of the bloggers on his site said something or shared something, you know, and I was like, all I did was like the video. It auto tweets because I have that setting on. I tweeted that message back to this person, and then they went ahead and they were so outraged, they were messaging at Agent of Doubt, they were messaging at PZ Myers, at Teslima Nazarene, at all these other people, right? And then Teslima Nazarene, the actual person who Exiled was angry about, who apparently is famous enough in the RadFem community to be on Free Thought blogs, Teslima Nazarene herself started answering these tweets. And then I was able to take this entire thread of tweets and share it with Exiled. And Exiled has been able to get into it with her own Twitter account and respond directly to Teslima Nazarene. You know, and it all started from one click of the like button. All right? And it facilitated a huge conversation. Imagine if I were to make a video and you liked it, and I was, you know, say, condemning the Westboro Baptist Church for tricking the vigil here in Aurora into thinking that they were actually going to show up, you know, and worrying a whole bunch of people. And then the Westboro Baptist Church were to start, you know, getting in on you liking my video condemning them, and then you told me about it, and then I could get in touch with them. You know, it's, you know, connecting all of these different social networks can actually connect us to the people who aren't using our social network of YouTube. This can increase views for our community. And what I'm really urging all of you to do is take a really good look at whether or not you care if people are stalking your actions. I know some of you out there might actually have a valid reason for caring why people might be stalking your actions. But if you don't have any reason to care, think about how much more benefit you could have for every one of the people that you're watching by, whenever you push the like button, you're actually sharing to your feed, you're sharing to Twitter, you're sharing to Facebook. If you get all these connected, you know, and it's basically like free shoutouts with, you know, very little effort once you get it all connected and working right. Very little effort, and it can result in the message that someone has actually getting to its intended recipient, like what happened between Exiled and Teslima Nazarene. And I guess the last thing I'm going to say is I watched a Jason with a D video where enough people had told him about AdBlock Plus that he decided to go get it, and he looked very happy. And this is very different from his feelings before, where he was looking at all the ads on YouTube and thought that he might want to leave for another site. He said that it made his YouTube experience very much better, and so I use this as my example of how somebody who might have otherwise left YouTube because of all the ads will stay in our community, and our community can keep building on itself without losing members. At least over that issue. So, that's it for this edition of The mysteries of YouTube partnership. Ah.